Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. I'm here to talk about the 2023 MLB Playoffs, and I'm here to give my official picks of the bracket for the National League and American League. Starting tomorrow, we have the wild card games. So let's get the bracket here. Right, so I've got the bracket here. So we're going to start in the National League with the wild card. The two wild card games, series starting in the National League. First one I'm going to talk about is the Phillies and the Miami Marlins. Now, another great October for the Philadelphia Phillies. Good story in the Marlins as well to make the playoffs. I'm going to pick the Phillies here. I like the Phillies in the playoffs this year. I think they're going to make a similar run like last year. I don't know about beating the Braves this year. I felt the Braves are way better than last year's team. But you never know. The favorite never always wins in these playoffs. So I feel like we might see some upsets in these playoffs like last year. I'm going to go with the Phillies here. I'm going to take them in. I think they're going to get a sweep. I just don't think the Marlins are good enough to beat the Phillies, honestly. Like, the Marlins are solid. They can barely snuck into the playoffs. But, the Phillies did the same thing last year. Maybe the Marlins can make a similar run. I just like the Phillies in this series. So, I'm going to have the Phillies moving on, playing the Atlanta Braves. But, the Marlins can make a series out of this, so I won't be surprised if this prediction's wrong. So anything can happen in the playoffs, but let's go to the Diamondbacks and Brewers. So this is kind of a little tough series here, but I'm going to go with the Brewers. I think they're obviously they're the favorite in this series. I won't be surprised with the Diamondbacks. When you say about any series in this, I won't be surprised if this opponent beats this opponent. I just think the Brewers are just better than the Diamondbacks right now. I like their starting pitching with Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, and their offense has been pretty good. So the Brewers are a hella good team, and I have them moving on to play the Dodgers in the division series. So those are my American League or the National League predictions for the wild card. Let's go over the American League. We're going to go with, first we're going to talk about the Twins and the Blue Jays. I'm going to have the Toronto Blue Jays beating the Minnesota Twins. I just don't think the Minnesota Twins are that good. Yeah, they have a good record, but they had a weak division this year. It's tough to trust the Blue Jays either because they've been kind of inconsistent. But I'm going to take the Blue Jays here, moving on to play the Houston Astros. I just can't trust the Twins in the playoffs, man. They just can't win whenever they get in the playoffs. I'm just saying, that's the facts about the Minnesota Twins. But the next wild card series, I think, is the series I'm looking forward to watching most of these wild card games. The Tampa Bay Rays versus the Texas Rangers. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays here, and I think we're going to have a AL East matchup in the division series in the American League. It's just hard to trust the Rangers. Yeah, they have an elite offense. It's just the bullpen, man. I feel like their bullpen it's going to come back to bite them in these playoffs, especially in this wild card series against a really good team in the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't know. It's a really tough series to predict. It's just I don't trust the Rangers bullpen over the Tampa Bay Rays. So my NLDS, I have the Brewers and the Dodgers, the Phillies and the Braves, and the ALDS, I have the Blue Jays, Astros, Rays, Orioles. So in the NLDS, I'm going to start Dodgers, Brewers. I'm going to have us advancing over the Brewers and advancing to the National League Championship Series. The Braves, I'm going to have advancing. I could see the Phillies pulling off another upset like last year, but the Braves are just too good this year. I think they're advancing championship series. I think we're getting Dodgers and the Braves at least 7 games in that series. But like I'll say, our pitching has to show for every series. The Division Series, Championship Series, if we can make it, and then the World Series, if we can make it. The Braves are definitely be tough to beat. They're a team to beat in the National League. So yeah, I have Dodgers Braves in my Championship Series in the in the American League. I'm gonna have, hate to say it, but I'm gonna have the Houston Astros. They always seem to play good in October, so simple as that. Houston Astros. The Braves are the Blue Jays. Are just too inconsistent. I'm gonna have the Astros, and I'm gonna have the Baltimore Orioles. They had a really good series. They're in the regular season, the Orioles and the Astros. So I'm going to have the Orioles advancing. I could definitely see the Rays winning, though, because the Orioles, they're young and experienced. I could definitely see the Tampa Bay Rays winning this series. I'm just going to pick... I'm for sure picking the Orioles. I'm going to have Orioles, Astros, and Dodgers, Braves as my championship series. And I want to pick my Dodgers here. I'm going to pick my Dodgers. I mean, why not? I mean, that would be... it's not really an upset, technically. But I think we're going to advance over the Braves. Because, the favorite doesn't win it every year. The Braves are probably the favorite to win it. But I think we're going to upset the Braves. I feel like their pitching is going to show up big. Bobby Miller, he's pitched good against the Braves this year. Kershaw, I think, is going to have a really good postseason this year. And silence even more critics saying he can't pitch in the postseason. Emmett Sheen has pitched well the last bit of the regular season. So I like our pitching going against the Braves if we can advance that far to the championship series. So yeah, I'm going to have us advancing to the World Series. I'm going to have the Orioles taking down the Houston Astros. So I'm going to have the Orioles and the Dodgers in the World Series. And I think the Dodgers will win it in 7 games. I think it's going to go all the way to 7. I'll have Dodgers over the Orioles in 7. It would be a good story for the Astros. Not for the Astros. Fuck the Astros. It'd be a good story for the Orioles, man. 100-win season, winning the division, making the World Series. But I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a special run for the Dodgers. Nobody expecting them to get 100 wins this year with the roster like they had. The slow start, but we got 100 wins. I feel like this postseason run's going to be special. But yeah, it's all to say. So, yeah, until next time, those are my 2023 MLB playoff predictions. So, peace.